It's day 8 of Advent, and we're going to be talking about Jesus, the great mediator that brings us peace. Our verse is right here in Hebrews 4:15, and it says, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin." And the big things that jump out at me is Jesus is the high priest that mediates between God and humanity. So we're going to talk about Moses and Aaron, specifically in Leviticus, who were high priests of God. So back then, the Israelite people were paying for their sins through burnt offerings and sacrifices that Aaron and Moses were carrying out for them. So they were the mediators between humanity at the time, or the Israelite people at the time, and God himself. Now, whenever they did these burnt offerings, they would always burn or sacrifice or do whatever they had to do to make atonement for their people. But since they were also sinners and they were also guilty of something, they would go ahead and confess as well in that moment and do offerings for themselves as well to God. So it wasn't like they were higher than them or closer to them than the Israelites, but it just made it more of God revealed himself to Moses and Aaron and not to all the Israelites. So the Israelites had to have faith in God that Moses and Aaron were actually the true high priest, which they were. But now we don't put our faith in Aaron and Moses or any other priest in that matter. The only high priest that we put our faith in is Jesus Christ himself. So when Jesus came through the Virgin Mary into this world, he became the great mediator. And basically, this means that the offerings that we would give to someone, or the sacrifices we would give to someone to give to God, we give all that to Jesus. So the truth about it is Jesus is now the great priest who, like it says in Hebrews, was tempted just as much as we are today, just as much as Moses was then, just as much as Aaron was then, just as much as anybody ever was in this world. Yet he didn't sin. He didn't fall into that temptation. He was sinless. And this sinless man, Jesus Christ, is now the mediator between us, sinful humans, and God, his Father. So when we confess our sins to Jesus and accept the fact that he died on the cross and made a perfect sacrifice for us, and that he has redeemed any sins that we could have done or have done or still currently doing, you will find peace. So today, I invite you to read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and just really learn it for yourself and get to feel and understand that peace that Jesus brings to our lives.